It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we've got a couple of franchises who broke into the league together back in 1995. It's the Carolina Panthers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And it comes your way next on Madden NFL 25.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Alongside my partner Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, happy to be with you. And CD, as we get this thing going, give the folks at home something to keep their eye on.
The running game for both teams, because I think this is going to be an old-fashioned, old-school type of a game. Physical, who wins up front, who runs the ball the best and controls the clock, they will come out the victor.
Two teams here that came into the NFL together back in 1995, and off we go between the Jags and the Panthers. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his second year in the NFL now.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building: potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
A first carry for the Canadian-born Chuba Hubbard. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Young now. And that'll be incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. On play action, Young. There's a short throw caught by Sanders. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
In motion right, one of the tight ends. And they just get the play off. Now Young. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
And darn right, they did something to disrupt that timing.
Young's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll throw again. Young. And he is stopped just short on 3rd down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
That looked great when he first took off, because in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
Oh, this is off the side of his foot. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
The word is potential, potential, potential. Think about this guy from the time he was in high school, one of the top prospects going to college, coming out of college, mentioned as a generational type quarterback. He looks the part. Tall, big arm, surveys the field, and can take off and run when under duress.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. A short throw there to Strange. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that will bring up 2nd down. Lawrence. He'll get this into the hands of the wideout from LSU. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They'll run for the first time with Travis Etienne. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Well, that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
Now 2nd and 3. From midfield now, Lawrence. Pass incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Lawrence will throw. He gets it to Thomas. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
As a linebacker, you're taught to stay just slightly behind the ball carrier just in case he makes a cutback. But when you find the gap, shoot it. And he found it all right. Took it straight into the backfield and made the tackle for a loss.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hunter. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 27-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the 1st down.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. Down at the 25.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 25, here's 2nd down and 7. Now Lawrence to throw. That's caught by Munn. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. They'll run with Etienne. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Now Young. He'll find McMillan here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
Yeah, that's a good start to drive number 2. Remember, they had to punt the first time they had it. So maybe a little bit different sense of purpose here, and they start out with a nice gain and a quick 1st down.
This is caught by McMillan. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Now a give. It's Hubbard going left. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. $3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Panther football to start quarter number 2. Here's 3rd and 6 as they've got it as we resume action. Looking to throw, Young. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
1 1st down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here's the Panthers punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
That to the sideline and incomplete. Boy, they're going to say there's a receiver in the area. That was close to grounding, but it's 2nd down. Here's Lawrence. forced out to his left. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Got to be careful here, backed up this deep on 3rd down. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the 1st down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. Here's Logan Cook now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Now a fair catch called for and made right on the 45-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Hubbard. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
A quick throw by Young, caught out wide. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of 1st downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 1st downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
A short throw taken in by Long. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to them. 11 yards and a 1st down.
They had 2 tight ends in the formation on that one. It looked to me like he had his pick of receivers downfield.
I think he was just planning on going over the middle. That's what he did.
Picked up 1st down, too.
Now Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen to ETN. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Here's Lawrence to throw. Open man, right side is his running back. It's complete downfield. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
This one was all about clearing space for this play to work because he's going to leak out of the backfield to his right, then angle his way up the field, and a really pretty throw to put it on him and create the big play downfield.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. ETN up the middle. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40. Ezra Cleveland, the guard, called for the penalty there. Throw left side complete. That's Hunter. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. So a decent gain there, but not their 4th consecutive 1st down like they had on the first 3 plays.
You sound almost disappointed there. You want to fire the offensive coordinator on that one or what?
They'd gotten into a rhythm. I thought they were just going to keep going.
Well, almost a win for the defense, but if that's your win, you're not doing very well right now.
Play action. It's Lawrence. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Thomas goes in motion left. It's a throw again as Lawrence. To the right side and intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Carolina offense about ready to go. And down by a field goal, they'll take over with excellent field position following the interception. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Following the interception, Young. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Young's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll bring a tight end in motion right. Here's Young. He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
The Sanders has got it complete. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. So still 14 yards to go, 2nd down. Here's Young from the shotgun. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. It'll be Young again. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Panthers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
Now Young. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Young to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Hubbard is into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
Point after try forthcoming. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays.
And it was Chuba Hubbard who finished it off with a touchdown run.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And able to get this out to the 25. The Jaguars offense and Travis Etienne set to take over once again. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Now Lawrence. Screen play. Here's Etienne.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
Here is 3rd and 5.
This time they stay on the ground, and they will get to him behind the line, but the clock continues to tick down. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. It'll be a gain of 3 on what should be the final play of this first half. So we come upon halftime intermission here with the visiting Panthers taking the lead to the locker room. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
It was the running back, Chuba Hubbard, who put together a solid first half. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3. This is a game, Charles, that's been fairly starved for offense. Really not much in that first half. We'll see if they can get something going here as we look toward the third quarter.
And not just a chance to finally get a little more offense going, but to erase that small deficit they currently trailed by. I think they'd send a pretty powerful message to the opposite sideline if they drive it right down the field coming out of the half.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Lawrence, now this is ETN on the draw. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
I don't think anyone thought we'd see a run facing second and that long, and that element of surprise, I think, helped make that play so successful. Nice effort on that carry, and it took what seemed like second and impossible, now has him within throwing range of a first down.
On 3rd down, here's ETN. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. ETN once more. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Straight ahead, ETN. And he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
3rd and 8. Lawrence. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. A shotgun snap, and again to ETN. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 9. Running out of the gun with ETN.
And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down. Stopped at the Panthers' 39. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he is going to have a Jags first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Lawrence will throw. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. In motion right here, Hunter. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Got a man, it's De'Ami Brown, complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Now Lawrence to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And the Jaguars are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
ETN diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown. Hard to argue with that being their best drive of the game so far as they use the running game to get them into the end zone.
Couldn't agree more, partner. Prior to that drive, they sputtered a little bit, but it looks like they found the formula. I would expect them to go back to that more and more as this game develops.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 10-7. So that drive spans 13 plays.
And it was capped off by a Travis Etienne touchdown run.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half.
And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
Young working out of the gun. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Well, they brought the lead into this third quarter, and now they're really stepping up, setting a tone here defensively.
They came right out roaring because you had to know that in the locker room, they talked about setting that tone that you just described, continuing the dominance that they exhibited in the first half.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Young will set to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Hubbard. And he's able to get up here to the 26. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
But if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Here's the Panthers punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this one will be touchdown right at the 30-yard line. Travis Etienne and the Jags offense set to take over again here. You see the numbers, all those carries. If you get that many carries in the drive, you better finish it with a touchdown, and he did.
Yeah, and deservedly so, right? Because we've seen times like the Carolina Panthers, sometimes Jonathan Stewart to carry the ball all the way down, and then Cam, he's such a great goal line runner, he'll carry it in. But in this case, though, that didn't happen. The fellow lugging the load, he's the one who got to reap the reward.
Yeah, there was no touchdown vulture here. Now Etienne to start the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 56 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He completes it to Hunter. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's a give to Bigsby. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves. Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field.
What a big 4th quarter fumble recovery a moment ago, and now they are set up with a chance to take the lead. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. So they recover their own fumble. Now they face 3rd and short. From midfield now, Lawrence. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
The Panthers about ready to take over. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here.
Young now.
He gets this one to Hubbard, complete.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a 1st down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
Young to throw it.
They'll find McMillan here. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Straight ahead with Hubbard.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line to hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
Throwing, Young. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Looking to throw, Young. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter. Picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Young's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10.
They'll run a draw now with Hubbard.
And he is close to a 1st down as he's tackled at the Jaguars' 24. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass him with a running play.
Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Young. And caught by Trimble. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll bring up second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. 2nd and 6 from the 10. To throw, Young. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And the Panthers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Hubbard is in. Touchdown, Carolina.
And this is a time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with a touchdown run to take the lead.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was Chuba Hubbard who finished it off with a touchdown run. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll try and start this drive in the air. They'll try and set up the screen to Etienne. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
And for a 2nd straight play, just nowhere to go thanks to this Carolina defense. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
Here we go. This is 4th down. Here we go. Gotta have it. Lawrence. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and now the football is going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. So now it may look bleak, but this one not over. They do have all 3 timeouts.
Even at this point on the field where it looks like, you're really backed up, Hold them to a field goal. That's the mantra right now. You hold them to a field goal, you still got a chance to take care of business on the other end. But you're right, the 3 timeouts are going to be key. How well they use them to preserve clock as well as stopping them, that's the key to giving them a chance to win.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun. It's Hubbard. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Chuba Hubbard. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down. And now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the 1st down, and after that, the air just went right out of the balloon, and you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes it a 21-10 game. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. This is 1st and 10. Now Lawrence. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. Here's 2nd down. Here's Lawrence to throw. A short throw there to Strange. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. And I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
Here's Lawrence. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining.
Here's a 2nd and 7. They go play action with Lawrence.
His throw incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
A big play looming on third down. It's a throw again is Lawrence. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. This to get it back to a one-score game. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. Well, they got the ball already. They're not going to risk the yardage and running another fourth down. They decline it.
And what was that they taught you in law school, that possession is 9/10 of the law?
I didn't go to law school.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you did. Well, I figure I'm going to give that to you anyway. Possession is 9/10 of the law, and it's 9/10 of this game, too. Having the football counts.
You're so litigious. So still a chance with just over 20 seconds to go, but they need to get this one back, no doubt. And the Panthers are going to recover here, and that should be enough to get them the victory. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
The Panthers offense and Chuba Hubbard set to take over once more. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here. Down to an he goes Young, and that should be the final act in this one. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the fourth quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we sign off from Jacksonville.